I found I found pictures of a dead guy in my attic. Actually, my father-in-law found them, and it was the most shocking thing that has happened. We couldn't believe it. So, I'm not going to show you all sides of this. This envelope is definitely not for what it is. On the other side, it has an address for a place that's near us. But we found this. So it's a little daunting, right? I don't know what any of this says. But the thing was, this is Commonwealth of Kentucky Department of Human Resources Bureau for Social Insurance. But this is just a reused envelope, so it doesn't have anything to do with that. And so we opened it up, and it's this. It's got water damage on it. It's got rat bites and chews. Maybe there's even like moths or bugs. It has been sitting up there for a while. And so my father-in-law found it and brought it down. This is just in our crawl space, which is not an attic at all. It's a crawl space attic with rafter joists, or not joists, trusses. So it's impossible. It's like fucking monkey bars to walk around. There's no storage in there except for the very weird whip antenna we found. There's like big eye bolt rings with ribbon radio wire hanging from them. And there was a lot of things that we thought might be in here. This envelope is dated from 1980. But we found were a series of Polaroid photos. I'm not even fucking kidding you. Polaroid photos. And we're going to be respectful for what's going on in here, but I have no idea why this would have been in the attic at all. I was very, very shocked because in the photos are just a series of tasteful pictures of a dead man, whoever this guy is. And it's a series of very unsettling, still somehow functional pictures of a dead guy. I won't get too like grotesque or anything. I'm going to be respectful, but like we found Polaroids of a dead guy in the attic. And I still cannot believe it. It says dad. I guess it was somebody's father, maybe. It's corpse photography. And very, very startling. They took pictures from every angle. I guess maybe this was somebody making sure that the like funeral arrangements were good. But here's the thing, and to this day, why were these tossed into the insulation of the attic, folded up into a random envelope? And we have no idea why they would be there. This is not the guy, I don't think, that owned this house. I don't know if this was his or he got it from somebody. But these photos are extremely unsettling. It's just the nature of Polaroids. Yeah, and I guess it's death photography. But yeah, they have a vibe. They are definitely like deeply, deeply unsettling. And it's not to like mess with the person. I guess maybe it was a nice and touching thing. But man, I don't know about sending this to reassure somebody. This is just one of the photos. And then the last one is a very nice picture of their funerary wreath. It says dad on it. So like, with all due respect to this guy, I don't know who these belong to. If someone's like, I lost great grandpa's death pictures in a fucking attic in Lexington, let me know. There was a lot of things they didn't tell us about this house. There was a lot of termite and water damage, and there was also apparently big collection of death photos. Now, this isn't, I don't know how to react to it. I'm not saying it's like freaked out. Or like, you know, like these people, whoever took these should be like messed with, but I just have no idea. I don't know. The arrangement seems empty. It seems like there's maybe nobody there. It has a very, lonely feel to it. And of course, when we pick this up, this has, I'm going to cover up this like random address that's on here. It has like one of those plastic see-through areas. And so like there was a dead guy's face in the see-through area. And it was I don't know. It felt like made for me in a way, you know? Shocking to say the least. I'm going to actually probably stand up here in a second and go Purell my hands because that thing is pretty, that envelope is pretty fucking disgusting. But I did promise you guys that. And not staged, not found, somewhere else. The address that's on there is an address for a house I think that doesn't exist. We tried to find it anymore. The date says 1980. So it's been 45 years. I mean, I think those Polaroids were literally from like, hey, I got a Polaroid camera. Let's go check it out. It was awesome. Very, very strange. But very, very, very amazing moment overall. Least haunted home in Kentucky. True. This just in: local horror author curses himself with long lost corpse photography. I think I would be fine. Tyler, why do you hate President Sunday? There's like 50 fucking videos on my channel. He's a fucking freak. If Tyler was in Sweden, he'd avoided his home insurance like 10 times over. With the corpse photos or with working on the house? Oh, man. But due respect to the fella. You know what I mean? Due respect. But just interesting as shit. We didn't find more. I don't know if it was a hobby or whatever. And just I really can't hammer this home. It's not an easy to get to place in the attic. You have to, the ladder, I have a 16-foot ladder with the extension up to get through the roof, the ceiling in this room into the crawl space. And then these were like in there. And there was also like, there's a lot of crazy, weird vibes in that attic space. And there's been crazy, weird vibes under the house too. I think I've told you guys this, that there's like wires and like electricity strung into the furthest corners of like the crawl space in the basement. I don't know if the guy was trying to work on stuff or what he was doing. And, you know, the upstairs had a old antenna that was ripped to pieces, hidden, like one of the weird, you don't see these at all anymore. One of the old radio antennas that's diamond shaped. And I don't know if somebody sent something or what. I wonder if you can find the family and return it to them. I mean, if I can, I will. It's 45 years old. So I don't even know who would be necessarily around to even know who that was. Like, if you showed me pictures of my great grandpa, I've actually never seen a photo of him. Maybe like twice. So I wouldn't know. That guy died before my actual grandfather did. So it's been a fucking minute, man. Interesting. Yeah, if anybody finds out that there's someone looking for lost photos of a dead relative, go for it. It's one of those things where I'm hesitant to put it on like a Nextdoor deal because it's like, I don't know what I'll be inviting. And I don't know if these were properly obtained. There's no notes. There is no writing on any of the photographs. They were like stuck together. They have been sitting up there for probably a decade or more, at least untouched, just getting rained on. The reason they're yellow like that is because they survived hidden, I guess, somewhere underneath it when there was a leak in the roof when this was re-roofed. And like this had the roof fix in this house was from 28 years ago at least. So those have been sitting up there for 30 years minimum, which I would have to look it up, but I don't even know if the guy that we got the house from, so to say, his family sold it to us at an estate sale. So I don't even know 30 years ago if he was here. Could have been. I mean, it's not impossible, but like, fuck me, man. Isn't that crazy? Like that's like nuts. What an interesting thing to find. Of all people to find it too. I know it's like sometimes it's like, is it a simulation or whatever? But fucking Lexington, Kentucky, man. Lexington, Kentucky. It's just a strange place. So I don't know. I'm gonna hold on to those. I'm gonna be respectful for them. Worst comes to worst, I'll try to find like a historic society or something. There's always little groups of old fucks wandering around. And I'll ask them like, hey, do you guys know what's going on here? But the revelation was too strange to not share it, and I was just like, what is this? I need to talk about this. Oh man. That attic 100% had to be set up for storage at one point, and it fell out of a box, or someone's kids were scared by the pics and threw them up there. That's not possible. I know that sounds crazy. It's not very likely. That attic can't be used for storage. It can't be. It's a truss attic. It doesn't have flooring. If you put anything, it's just drywall attached to the under. So if you put anything that's more than like 2 pounds, or like 10, 15 pounds on the ceiling, it'll collapse. It'll fall right through. Like, you have to sit on all these things. And because it's trusses, they don't have a space to set stuff on. Like, there's nowhere to set anything on up there. There's like a few boards that are put down for you to walk on, and they're like, fucking 1/2 inch by 3 inch wide planks. It is not a space that is designed for storage whatsoever. The only thing that we found up there so far is maybe like a little bit of a Christmas tree shit, which could like be strung between everything, and extra insulation that was not installed. And then a radiant baseboard heater that was upstairs for some reason. I don't know if it had been downstairs at some point or what, but there was a gigantic, 8-foot long radiant heater, the plug-in kind that will like take all of the juice out of your house from like the 1970s. I don't, if you guys remember being in the 90s, if you were alive then, you may have had a friend or a relative that would have the foot burner, a radiant heater. It looks like one of those lights that hangs from the ceiling like this, right? It's got that kind of boxy triangular shape, but inside it's just a heater, and you set it on the floor. You walk around, you'll eventually scorch your fucking wrist, or not your wrist, your ankle or your foot on one of those things, just getting too close to it. Not realize it's on in the winter, go touch a window. It is wild. We had to take that out of there. And then the whip antenna with all these like straps of like antenna ribbon hanging. I was like, what in the fuck is going on here? Aren't there records for the previous owners? There are, but it's also Kentucky. So that guy passed. He's a cool guy. Apparently a Marine. His name was Ace, which is a fucking cool name, actually. But like, yeah, I don't know. The only thing I know about Ace is he was probably running a still, and he loved it. Just doesn't, the morbidity of it doesn't fit the vibe from the guy, because Ace that lived here before us, who I feel like I know because I've been cleaning up his shit for a while, he had the entire house wrapped in extension cords. Like, they were everywhere. He didn't want to run actual power anywhere, so he just run like, I think we pulled all of them out finally, and there was something in the ballpark of like 25, 35 extension cords. We still haven't gotten quite every single one of them, because some of them are like buried in between things that we can't get them out of. And they're inside, outside extension cords. There was inside only power strips too, and he had all sorts of Christmas lights, not for Christmas, like luau lights, like pineapples and shit everywhere. Like, damn, I think it's kind of loud though. 2 Christmas trees in the backyard that he, like, the the aluminum Christmas trees, metal Christmas trees, plastic, whatever, without any of the bottom branches, and only the top, like bottom branches put onto the top to make them look like palm trees with lights strung on them. Birds live in them now, so I'm not allowed to get rid of them. Those are like stapled to the back porch. And then just stringers of lights everywhere. Like, my man was just out there fucking getting pina coladaed out of his fucking mind every day. It just doesn't seem like the person to have that around. So it might have like even predated him. He's got his poor dog gravestone back there, but then also there's an actual still boiler. You guys remember Breaking Bad? Round bottom boiling flask or whatever. There's one of those type of things, except for it's the tubular kind that you if you're from this area, you know exactly what it is. It's for making shine. He had these 2 little tiny ass sheds in our backyard, and I think he was making moonshine in them, and he had one of those for distilling. Like, what in the fuck is going on here? It was nuts. Very, very interesting. Sorry, Mangus with the Swedish Krona 27. Could they have been purposefully hidden? Tossed away is how my father-in-law described it. Like, the only way you would have found, like, it would be very reasonable to think that, like, the last guy had gone up there and not seen them. The only reason we found them was because we had to, like, go where they were, right? So, like, there's no reason to go to the side of the house where we ran the exhaust pipes for the tankless water heater, because there's no reason to go over there. It's very difficult. The trusses meet in a V at the part of the house that you can fit in. So you have to, like, walk through it like you're like George of the Jungle through a fucking, like, a forest of, like, limbs and stuff. It is a very difficult and uncomfortable space to be in. It is not somewhere you want to go. And you can't, like, move stuff. That's why you can't really store shit up there. You can't move stuff between all of that without having to, like, bring it and set it down and, like, go place to place. It's a non-starter. It's really, really hard to get around. And you can't even put the ladder up normally because there's not even wood to support the sides of where the ladder goes. Like, it's crazy as shit. The whole space is weird. And so he was putting that stuff in, and it was only, like, by happenstance that he found it. He was like, what the fuck? I found this. I'm like, what the hell? Where is that? He's like, there's an envelope full of, I think there's photos. And we opened it, and it's fucking corpse photos. We're like, what in the fuck is going on? Look at this weird dog. Hey, Bug. Buck, come here. Where are you? Hi. That's a dog. There's a bug. That's a stink boy. But yeah, that's what was up. And shocking. Just actually fucking shocking that I would ever find something like that. And just a completely unique experience. You know, after all the troubles that we went through in the house, I don't really feel bad about sharing one of the neat, creepy things that happened. Because, I mean, we already have all the extension cords and the strange lights and the weird hookups and our weird little sheds back there with the fucking shine bottles. And there's a lot going on. I'll say that. There's a lot going on in this house. Yes, you are the stink. You are the king of stink, and I love you. I love you, buddy. But, man, I feel like there's even more. I feel like we have yet to figure shit out about what the fuck is going on. Because there's just shenanigans. The house is full of shenanigans. I haven't measured every wall. I'm waiting to find the void. I know that I'm going to eventually be looking, and I'm going to, like, I'm going to find the void in the walls. Or maybe I'll go up there and I will find, like, a series of different, like, maybe there's a collection of them, you know? So it's just it's such a weird thing I've never experienced before, is finding something like that. The last house we were in, the guy was terrible at fixing shit up when I was in Germantown. And all he did was, after we were pulling shit down for a day. He's so bad at carpentry. He just didn't give a fuck. He just put stuff together with nails. He didn't give a shit. And we finally get to the bottom of it and, like, rip it all out. And then we find a note with a nickel in it. He's like, well, if you got any complaints about how I did this, here's a nickel for your troubles. I was like, motherfuck, dude. Like, actually killed me. Like, dog shit work. And then you stab me like this. But very, very neat. Very, very neat experience. The house has some found footage history. Yes. Strange lights makes it sound like the previous owner left you UFOs. I mean, I don't think any of them were UFO lights, but they were a lot of pineapples. Swinger, maybe. I don't know. Attic tour or we riot. You wouldn't be able to see anything because there's no electricity up there. And I would fall. And it's hot and it's horribly dusty. Oh my gosh. Maybe I'll take you guys downstairs underneath the house eventually. Yo, Bug. Okay, I can't keep scratching you. I'm getting distracted. I love you, Bug. Good boy, good boy. If you guys get a treat meter, well, I mean, the Kroner broke it. The Swedish Kroner always break it. Those are actually like $5 and $10. But then it looks like I got like $1 million. Give the Bug a D. Oh, dude, why are you so happy? Are you hanging out here again? Also, the fucking weather's normal in here because I clogged that up. The good news is, with all this kind of said, should be having Bunny back soon. We should have Sweet Cheeks back by hopefully Monday, if I can get parts of the walls sealed up and get him out here. I should go, boy. Pat, 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 pat. You go sleep. Go sleep. Oh, man, you are dirty as fuck. God, freaking outside dog rolling around in the fucking soil. Either way, end of the segment. Very, very interesting, right? Don't know what to add. Don't know. I feel like it was in perfectly fine taste. It's just a novelty. You know what I mean? I wish all the best. And I know one of my suspicions is that there was damage to the roof too. And somebody might have thrown those away, is my other idea. They might have thrown them away and the plastic was shiny and like a bird or a squirrel or something like took it to like make nests or something with in the side of my house and then forgot it. That also is just as possible. So I don't know if it was thrown up there or discarded. It was just like where you would never see it. You would never go up to get it there. That's like for sure. Because we've had multiple people. My father-in-law's been up there before. I've peeked up there. Our house inspectors went up there. All of those people went and gone, go, it'd be up and down and back and forth. And it wasn't until he was on his like 10th trip up and down back through there, because his thing was hooking up the 3-inch pipes and getting all those ready. It wasn't until he was on his like 3rd trip up there or like 10th trip up there that he found these. I mean, it was like the 3rd day we were working that he finally was like, oh shit, like I saw this and I didn't know what it was. And we picked it up. The only thing I found when I went up there was actually legitimately something somebody dropped, and it was a little Mead notebook with just notes of like, I need to buy nails, gall nails, whatever a gall nail is. I don't know that exactly. Raven was all like, yeah, human find this in 20 years. I wouldn't be surprised. Bunny cam return, yes. Pupper bath time, also yes. I've been too busy with all this shit. It's been like 3 weeks since he's gotten a fucking bath. And he goes outside and just like rolls in dirt with the dog that's next door. They pee at each other. It's disgusting. But yeah, that's pretty much, I think that's good. That's the end of the segment. I'm going to take a break here in a second because I need to wash my hands because I touched a disgusting, disgusting dog animal. And also this curse packet. I don't know. I might be fucked. I'm going to have some like plucky Japanese school children, shrine maiden types come by and fucking fight the yokai out of my attic now. I'm about to start walking around with my head's going to look like a pig and there's going to be half invisible insects floating all around me.
Hope you enjoyed your time on the